In the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a 14-year-old girl named Blessing. She was quiet and timid, and anyone who saw her could tell that she carried a heavy burden. Blessing lived with her uncle, Jack, a man who treated her terribly. Every day, Jack would shout at her, beat her for the smallest mistake, and make her do all the household chores. Blessing couldn't understand why her uncle hated her so much, but deep inside, she always wondered why he never showed her any love. Jack had picked Blessing up as a baby from the side of a bush, right outside their village, where her mother had abandoned her. In Blessing's village, having a child out of wedlock was considered an abomination. Her mother, frightened and ashamed, had left her to die. But Jack, who was passing by, took her in. He never told Blessing the truth. Instead, he always made her believe she was lucky to be with him, even though he treated her worse than a servant. As Blessing grew older, the abuse from Jack worsened. Sometimes, when he was in a particularly bad mood, he would refuse to give her food or lock her outside the house, forcing her to sleep on the cold porch. Blessing didn't understand why her uncle acted this way. After all, wasn't he supposed to be her family? Late at night, Blessing would cry herself to sleep, wondering why her life was so painful. One night, something strange happened. As Blessing lay crying under the moonlight, a soft breeze blew through the room. Suddenly, a glowing figure appeared in front of her. It was the village spirit, an old, gentle presence that she had seen before in her dreams. The spirit didn't say much but whispered, "The truth is near, my child." Blessing was shocked and confused. "What truth?" she asked. She didn't know what the spirit meant, but she felt a strange warmth and comfort. She kept seeing the spirit in her dreams, and each time, it would leave her with the same message. One day, while Blessing was out running errands for Jack, she met an old man named Mr. Fire. He was a well-known witch doctor in the city, but unlike the stories she had heard, he was kind and gentle. Mr. Fire noticed the sadness in Blessing's eyes and asked her why she looked so troubled. At first, Blessing hesitated. But something about Mr. Fire made her trust him, and she began to pour out her heart, telling him about Jack's cruelty and how she felt lost. Mr. Fire listened carefully, then told Blessing that there was something important she needed to know. He said, "Blessing, Jack is not your father. You were left by the bush as a baby, and your real parents are out there, somewhere. The village spirit that visits you in your dreams is trying to help you find the truth." Blessing was shocked. "Not my father," she whispered, her heart pounding. For years, she had thought Jack was her only family, but now everything seemed different. With Mr. Fire's help, Blessing began to unravel the mystery of her past. The village spirit continued to visit her, guiding her through dreams and visions. Sometimes, when Blessing was alone, the spirit would appear before her, showing her glimpses of the village where she was born, the face of a woman who looked just like her, and the bush where she had been abandoned as a baby. One day, the spirit led her to a small, quiet house deep in the village, far from Lagos. There, she found a woman with tired eyes and a sad face. It was her mother. The moment they saw each other, Blessing felt a connection she had never felt before. Her mother broke down in tears, explaining how she had been forced to abandon her because of the village's cruel traditions. I never stopped thinking about you, Blessing, her mother sobbed. I thought you were gone forever. Blessing felt a wave of emotions, anger, sadness, but also relief. She finally understood why her life had been so hard, why Jack had never treated her like family. He wasn't her family. Her real family had been searching for her, hoping she was alive. With the help of Mr. Fire and the village spirit, Blessing reunited with her parents and learned to forgive the past. Though the road had been hard, she now knew who she was and where she came from. No longer would she suffer under Jack's cruelty. She had found her true family, and with them, she found love and peace. Welcome to Tedda's Folktale Studio. Please subscribe to this channel, like and share our videos for more tales. Let's go back to the story. From that day on, Blessing's life changed for the better. The spirit stopped visiting her, but she felt its presence in her heart, guiding her steps as she began a new chapter in her life. Blessing's life had changed completely after finding her mother. It felt like a dream, something she had never imagined could happen. She was no longer alone, no longer trapped in a house full of pain. Now, she was surrounded by love, and for the first time in her life, she felt safe. After leaving Jack's house, Blessing moved in with her mother. They lived in a small, simple house in the village, far away from the noise of Lagos. It wasn't a big house, but to Blessing, it felt like the best place in the world. Her mother, Ao, worked hard to make sure Blessing was happy. She cooked Blessing's favorite meals, told her stories about her family, and showed her all the places in the village that Blessing had seen in her dreams.